What's going on, guys? If you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, you'll know that recently I just installed these railings on our deck. So that has prompted me to start a TIG welding stainless steel project today. Let's get going. So as you can see behind me, my wife likes to decorate with flowers and whatnot around the house. So that has led to this week's project, and I'm going to show you what we're going to be building. Let me bring you out front. So earlier this summer, I built a bracket to hold this little planter onto the railing. Well, I want to do something like that for our new vinyl railing. And this is what that bracket looks like. But the issue is that I don't want rust getting all over those new vinyl railings, and I'm going to be replacing this railing here too with vinyl railings to match what we have out back. The new railings, though, are not going to have this little spreader bar on it. It's just going to be the little S-hook with a short spreader that touches on the vertical spindles. So then you could make this as wide as you wanted it. So if you wanted to make a wooden planter a custom width, you could do that and set it right on here. Let me show you what we're going to be using for material. The material is 1 inch wide by 1/4 inch thick by 12 feet long stainless steel flat bar. That's not cheap. I paid, with tax, it was $44 for this piece. But the great thing about it is that it'll never rust. It'll always look good. And I'm not overly good at TIG welding, so it should be an interesting project for me. Plus, I got some new tools that I want to show you and that I'm going to try out. I got some deals for you. Let's bring it on into the workshop. So we're in the workshop, and if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you'll know that this is this winter's project that I've got here on the lift. It's a 2001 KTM 250 EXC 2-stroke, and I plan to hopefully race this next year. So we're going to go right through it. I'm going to freshen up the motor. Needs new tires, a bunch of other stuff. We're going to do just like we did with the TRX 70 build, and we're going to go right through it, front to back. So be just as good as new. So for this repair, I'm going to be using my new Fronius TransTig 210. A little bit about this welder. It's a stick welder, and it's also a TIG welder. The only thing it can't do is it can't do aluminum. It can do everything else, but it's a lift start, and it's also high frequency TIG. It's dual voltage, so it can run on 110 or 220, and it comes with all the adapter plugs. Now this is where you guys can make out. If you order one of these, either the 210 or the 170, between now and August 31st, 2020, using my promo code that I'll have down below, you're going to get one of these free Phaser 1000 welding helmets. And guys, if you buy this package, you're going to get a ton of stuff. So like I say, either the 170 or the 210. This one here is the 210. You're going to get this. You're going to get the case that it holds it in. You're going to get 4 different power cables. Everything fits nice and nested down inside this case. The case has wheels on it. It's also got a nice carry strap that you can pick it up and throw it over your shoulders, or it's also got handles, which are super nice. It doesn't come with a flow gauge, it comes with a flow meter, which is a nice high quality unit. I think a flow meter is a little more accurate than a flow gauge. You're going to get a 26-foot TIG torch, and this is all high quality. It's got the controls right on this itself, right on the head. It's going to come with a pile of spare parts for you. Look at the ground clamp. So it's got the earth or ground. Super heavy duty. It is super heavy. That looks to be all brass. Nice stinger. DINS connections. And if you order this, as I say, between now and August 31st, if you register it using my promo code, you're going to get a free welding helmet, and that's close to $300 value. This is all digital display, and it can also do pulse TIG and pulse stick. One of the things I like to do when I swap out a bottle of argon or C25 gas is I like to just quickly test for leaks, because it gets real expensive when you start getting leaks and you're just blowing your expensive gas into the atmosphere. And the way I do that is I have a water bottle that has some dish detergent in it, and I just drilled a real small hole in the cap, and I leave this in the workshop for a lot of reasons. It also works when you're mounting or dismounting tires, but it also works to check your connections to make sure you don't have any leaks and it doesn't make a huge mess. You don't need a sprayer bottle, and if a leak is visible, it's immediately going to start foaming up around the connection that has the problem. So we're all good here, and it's just cheap insurance, and it's just something good to keep in the workshop, and it keeps for a while. Like I said, just a little tiny hole, and yeah, works good, just like that. So this is what we're going to bend. This is where the railing is, so this part of it hooks over the top of the railing. Then it's going to come down, and there's a little lip here, and that's where the planter is going to sit in this area. And this is the end view of what's going to be hitting against the vertical post to keep this from slipping through. So because I can't bend 1/4 inch material, or I don't think I can, at least with the tools that I have, I'm going to score at each of these locations. So the first score will be 1.5 inches up, and then it needs to be 3.5 inches inside diameter from here to here. So there's going to be a total of 1, 2, excluding this, 3, 4 welds to make that bracket, and then we'll weld this on. So I'll come back here, measure 1.5 inches, put a little mark, and then carry that over, and we'll score it. And I'm using a disc from a company called Graph Black, and I really like these compared to some other ones because this has a continuous rim around it, so it doesn't jump around like some of the ones that have the segments in them. And these last a lot longer than an abrasive disc, and you don't have all that dust in your workshop. So for that, I really like these, and I'll have links down in the description if you want to know where I get them. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but we'll give it a try, see what happens. Might have to go a little more. Probably break, I hope not. There, I think that's pretty close. Check it for 90. Yep, there we go. Now from the inside, we need to be 3.5 inches inside of here to here. So we'll measure 3.5. Score it along there, and then we'll bend it down. Alright, it's going to do the same thing that we just did. Oh yeah, look at that. Check it for square. We're a little bit over, but it's going to draw it up when we weld it anyway. So now we'll weld here, then we got to weld there. And if we did it right, it should be 3.5 inches inside. And it is, right on the money. Now our next measurement is going to be 5 inches. So we got to measure 5 inches down, but we got to cut it or score it on the other side because we got to bend it this way. I'm going to change that measurement, guys. I'm going to go 6 inches. So we just made that measurement now 6, and now we're going to do 5.5 inside here to that lip. Might have overbent it a little. There we go, good. And then this area right here is that. We just got to cut it off to 1 inch. So here we go, guys. Here's the setup. I'm going to start out on my first weld doing the one underneath that you might not see. The welder is maxed out. It's 210 amps. The material I'm welding is 304L stainless, and I am welding it up with 3/32 308L. Oh, and the tungsten that comes with it, it comes with a couple different sizes. Right now I'm using 1/8 inch, 2% serrated tungsten. And I got it sharpened to a point. So there it is, it's on. This ground clamp, guys, I can't believe it. It's rated for 500 amps, and it's got so much spring pressure I can barely pull it with one hand. So it's all quality stuff, real high quality actually. And it's kind of nice right here on the torch itself. You can adjust the amperage. I don't know if you can see it, but see that? You can adjust the amperage up or down just with a click of your finger if you listen. That's if you don't have a foot pedal. Now, I'm not a very good TIG welder, so this ought to be real interesting. Man, I love this helmet. Super clear. Wow! That's the first ever weld. It's not pretty, but it kind of caught me off guard. My fingers started getting really hot. And all I'm doing is just a lay wire. I'm not feeding it in. So getting used to the torch is a little different because I'm not used to having this switch in this position. So I felt like I needed to break the arc to stop it, but you don't. You can hit the arc, you can hit the button, and it downslopes is how I have it set up. So let me bring you in, I'll show it to you. Try to be easy on me. Not pretty. I started on that side, worked and stopped about halfway in, and then moved over. I lost coverage gas and everything, but that's the first arc ever with this, and I'm going to get better as I go, and I'm not very good at TIG welding anyways, so this will give me some good experience. So I'm going to flip it over. Hopefully I can continue to get better as we go. I'm also going to turn the amperage down a little bit. Everything was just happening a little bit faster than I wanted it to. But then again, I'm used to welding a lot thinner stuff like exhaust and stuff like that. So. And I stuck the tungsten right at the end. Oh, it was going so good too for a minute there. And when I was fiddling to hit the off switch, I stuck the tungsten right there. So, not a biggie. You know, the more I use this, the more I'll get used to the switches and stuff like that. Or I've got a foot pedal. Maybe I'll hook one up to it. But I just kind of wanted to use it the way it is, the way you guys would buy the kit. The foot pedal's an extra piece, so, but I kind of wanted to use it, like I said, is the way the kit comes. So I'll get a little bit better. I got a little excited there. That's alright. It's only going to hold up plants. I think this is going to be plenty for that. Turn it down again. We'll see if that helps. Things aren't coming at me quite so fast as they were the last time. So let's give her a little bit of a run here. And again, I'm just doing lay wire. I'm just laying the wire into the joint and allowing the puddle to form. Alright guys, that one was much better. Okay, feeling a little bit better about it. And I didn't dip the tungsten, which was good. So yeah, we're gaining. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more though. It's still a little hot. It's getting some undercut. So gaining. It's a nice welder. I really like it a lot. Okay, this is a little more my speed, guys. Yeah, this is where the amperage setting I need, right here. Oh, trying to turn it off. There we go. There. Alright, that was a little better. Each one's getting a little better, guys, I think. Yep, I'm gaining. I'm getting more confident in my abilities. That's not bad. The more I do, the better I'll get. I'm going to do another one. We'll see. I think that one's going to be a lot better. And then I'm going to do, after this, 7 more. So the last one ought to look really good. We'll put that one where when the company comes over, where they'll see that one. Welding is just like anything in life that you do repetitively and you do it a lot and you like it. If you do something a lot, then you're going to get better at it. If you do something a lot and you like doing what you're doing, you're going to get really good at it. So for me, I don't do a lot of TIG welding, so I'm kind of rusty at it. I've never been overly great at it, in all honesty. I grew up stick welding, and for me, that's what just kind of comes natural. So, and I probably do that more than most processes. So for me, stick welding is what the process I go back to, and this also does stick welding, so that's kind of awesome for me. So if the stick welding is anything like how smooth the arc is on the TIG welding, this is just an awesome welder. I'm super impressed with it. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm going to enjoy these next few months trying to get a little bit better at TIG welding. So let's get back to it. Now the next thing I'm going to build is that little pad that goes, that hits up against the spindles, and that's going to look something like that and like that, and then the spindle is here. So this is hooking over the top rail, the planter's sitting here, and this bumps against the spindle to keep this bracket, you know, vertical up and down. So I think it would be difficult to get the cup down inside there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld them, at least the T part, like this first, out here where I can get to it, and then I'll take the welded assembly and move it up into place and then weld it there. So I think that'll probably be the easiest way of doing it. So that's my next thing that I'm going to work on now. And I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm going to do a tack without any filler, because this isn't sitting on here straight, it's kind of crooked. So I'll get a tack on it, and then we can weld it with some filler. There. Now we'll add some filler to it. Yeah, I'm happy with that, guys. That looks a lot better. I'm getting better as I go. Let me show you what I just did. And again, I'm just doing lay wire. I'm just laying it in there. That's it. I just got this piece on the back just holding it down. So it's getting better. There's no undercut in it. Looks like I could have used a little bit more filler metal in there. But again, like I said, this is the first time using this welder, and I'm not that great of a TIG welder. So I'm getting better as I go. And I can guarantee that it's going to hold up a plant pot. So. Oh yeah, guys, I'm getting a lot better as I go. Getting better. That's gain, and that's pretty presentable. That looks okay. I'm proud of that. Gaining. And that piece was welded at 175 amps with that same 3/32 rod. It's got a little bit of undercut, so I'm going to back it down a little bit. Just because I'm going to spend a little bit more time and try to get some more filler in there, but Yeah, so I'm gonna run it down now to 160 and see how that works. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna do a little tack to get it to hold into place, and then we'll start adding some filler. Alright, so I'm on 160 amps right now. Hopefully this will look about the same, but without the undercut. Oh yeah guys, this is it right here. And I have 4 seconds of post flow set into it. Yeah, geez, that looks really good. Yep, that's perfect. Zero undercut. So I'm running 160 amps, 13.8 volts. And that's it right there. Not too shabby for like my 4th or 5th weld. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Over the next few months, I've got a lot of tinkering that I'm going to do with this welder. It does a lot more stuff than probably I will use, but I want to start using it. I mean, it's got duty cycle, base current, so this is just for the TIG. So hot start current, starting current duration, pulse frequency, anti-stick, cell mode, startup ramp. This thing does so much stuff, guys. You can have it for high frequency, pulse TIG display, ignition timeout, arc brake monitoring, soft stop sensitivity, pre-flow time, post-flow time, purging. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It's got a tack setting, so you can just go through and put tacks. It'll save you a ton of time on that. You can select your electrode diameter. Yeah, it's just, it does a lot of stuff. This is a very advanced welder, so yeah, and it's a quality welder. This isn't. This is definitely not a cheap welder by any stretch of the imagination. And they offer obviously a 3-year warranty, which is pretty impressive. And that's 3 full years, so that's pretty cool. And you're probably wondering why I welded so hot in the very beginning, because it burned the stainless steel. It turned it like gray. But I used the Miller Welds calculator, and that's kind of what it said to start at with a starting point with these rods. But I think you could probably even turn it down to less than 160. But 160 is going pretty good right now. I think it seems to be a pretty good place for me, so that's what I'm going to go with. I've just got this little piece of, well, not little, it's a pretty heavy piece of solid steel right here, and I'm just using it as a weight to hold down my piece so I can weld it. Yeah, I'm real happy with that, guys. That looks really good. Yep, that's a good job. I'll show you that one too. I'm not really set up to show you good arc shots. I wish I could, but that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So now we got to weld these pieces onto those. So that's my next process. Alright, so I'm going to tack that right here. You probably won't be able to see me tack it, but then I'll bring you in here after I do. I'm using this big piece of heavy steel plate here. This steel bar is a straight edge for this piece we're going to weld. Not too great. That didn't come out great. Not bad. Not great either, but not bad. I'll show it to you in a second. So, and there it is, and that's how it actually goes on. That hangs over the railing. And to keep it from getting chafed up, I'm going to put some felt on the inside right here. And right on here on this pad. And also, so that it matches the railings, I'm actually going to grind these, sand them down a little bit, and I'm going to paint them white. So, that way it'll match the railings, but I never have to worry if the paint chips off that there's going to be brown rust coming down the vinyl railings. So, yeah. So this little tab, this little piece right here, that's what hits the spindles. So you just line that up, hang it over the railing. That pad hits one of the spindles, and then you can just put your plant pot right here. Kind of add some decoration. Once and done only. You know what I mean? Not a big fan of doing things twice or halfway, so I think this right here is going to look really nice, and I don't have to worry about it rusting, and they're easy to put away in the winter because obviously we're not going to leave it out, the plant pots out over winter, so we can just throw these in a bucket or something, or put them on a shelf, and they'll be ready for next spring. Now I'm doing the same thing to this one. I'm just actually, let me turn it around so you can see what I'm doing. Now you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just holding this like this and then butting this up to it, using it kind of like a straight edge. There's a little bit of a rock in this. It's got a little bit of rock to it, so I'm just going to put a hammer there to kind of like hold it rigid. And then I'm going to put a little blast tack on it, and that'll hold it in place. Here they are, guys, all built, and I put some felt on the underside just so it doesn't abrade and scrape into the vinyl railings, but they're just little stick-on felt pieces, and I just put them where they contact everywhere, and it's as simple as this. So just literally hook it on over the top, and it just sits there. So just like that. And the great thing about these brackets is that if you wanted to build like a wooden housing for it, you could space your brackets anywhere you wanted, and you could put a bunch of these little planters inside of it. So it's kind of universal. But what we want to do is just to straddle this center post on the railing. So we'll put another one here, which makes it nice too for winter. When you're putting it away, it's small. And then it's just a matter of setting your plant potter right up in there like that. That's it. Simple and easy. And then I just need to make one more that I'm going to do over there for that one, and another one out front. And that's all there is to it, guys. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're wondering what I'm working on before it makes it up to YouTube, you can catch me on Facebook and on Instagram. New videos every Friday. Until next week, I will see you then. Take care. Stay safe. See ya.